awareness to the respective villages. Although some Hanenamos are not taking part in those villages, I will still reach out to their villages to know their stories, to learn about their people, their lifestyle, so that I can be part of them as well as an ambassador to show to the world that this is my people, these are our stories, and we are here to tell them to you all. And if I do not win the crown, that is still something that I will be still thankful for. My family will still be there with me to support me all the way. And my journey doesn't end there. I will still go out to preserve, promote my culture to my people, take part in traditional sing-sings or any gathering, or uphold, proud of, be happy that you were there to take part. And only one person can be the winner. We will all stand beside our sister, whoever wins, and support her in her journey as well.
Hello and thanks for joining us for the Midday News. I'm Lakatoi. We'll now take you live to Rarea for the launch of the Hiri Lakatoi Keva Ubada. The Keva Ubada will set sail, making its way to the Royal Papua Yacht Club ahead of the main event on Saturday. This traditional vessel is a powerful symbol of heritage and unity, carrying on a proud legacy that connects the past to the present. Our reporter Carol Kidu Jr. is on location to bring us the latest. Over to you, Carol.
Thank you, Mary. We're here at the Rarea village where the official launching of the Lakatoi Keva Ubada was launched today. We have the young children here who are also upon the Lakatoi. The Lakatoi will be taken off to the Royal Yacht Club and will be waiting in anticipation for the main event on Saturday. Now, I had earlier on had an interview with the Ward 16 councillor, now Iru, who gave us his thoughts on the day's events.
That took the journey down and back. It brings back a lot of memories because of the stories and the knowledge and the goods all were there. Yeah. So the Lakatoi here must be preserved. We have to maintain it or uphold it. For those generations yet to come, must also be made aware or have to be taught about this. The Rarea village took hold of the honor of constructing the Lakatoi Keva Ubada since early January, and to this day culminating in the launch of the Lakatoi that will be traveling to the yacht club, like I said earlier on, to wait in anticipation for the main event on Saturday. Now, for those of you who are unaware, New Power Limited is the main sponsor in sponsoring the help support towards the construction of the Lakatoi. Yesterday, just a brief update. Yesterday we had the pre-judging, and from this day onwards we'll have the float and motorcade at the City Hall Annex, followed by a sponsors night, the main event on Saturday, and the Vanagi Hea Helelu on Saturday as well, and the main event also on Sunday for the crowning of the Miss Hiri Hanenamo. Back to you, Mary.
Awesome stuff, Carol. Thank you. Moving on, in Port Moresby, the U.S. Army's Security Assistance Training Management Organization team is advancing critical training with the Papua New Guinea Defense Force. Over the past 2 weeks, training at Goldie River and Murray Barracks has focused on small unit tactics and advanced medical skills. Members of the Royal PNG Constabulary are being given the opportunity to further their education through a study assistance program under the Papua New Guinea-Australia Policing Partnership. This year, 8 participants from the Lae Metropolitan Command are undertaking various courses in tertiary institutions in Lae and Madang.
A photo shoot was conducted on Tuesday at the Lae Metropolitan Command by members of the Australian Federal Police and Royal PNG Constabulary, especially the 8 participants of the Study Assistant Program under the Papua New Guinea-Australia Policing Partnership. AFP's Deputy Sergeant Ben Payton said since its initiation in 2022, the batch this year is by far the largest number that the AFP is supporting in terms of financial assistance. 6 of the 8 participants are women officers who are undertaking courses in communication and management.
What's trying to be achieved is obviously for RPC&G officers to achieve higher levels of education, but primarily help them with their career path. We look at this group as a lot of the future leaders that are amongst the study cadre. Well, this is the group for this year, and then next year when applications will open at the start of the year, and as some people are completing 3 and 4 year degrees, so they'll require ongoing assistance, and other people are just starting off in their education journey.
So that's the assistance from those.
Lae Metropolitan Superintendent Chris Kunianban applauded the partnership that is upskilling a good number of women in the Royal PNG Constabulary.
Increase the number of policemen, not only policemen but policemen as well, are looking to this program, but that all depends very much on the program assistance from the AFP through the APP program. We're fortunate to have them on board because if you look at how we conduct our business, things have changed a lot, and collection of data, understanding the prudent management, best practice application, which is contemporary, if you like, now. So we would really like to see a lot of training be emphasized on that perspective. And if you look at the batch now that is currently undergoing the program, you see most of them are having the management courses run, and which is good because most of the skills, the knowledge that will be given to them to bring over to our organization will be very applicable to our sense of duty statement.
Kunyanban welcomed the skills and knowledge that would be imparted on the participants through the respective diploma and degree courses they are undertaking at the Divine Word University and PNG University of Technology. This in turn would be a positive contribution to the constabulary. Frida Kana, Tvwan News.
In news overseas, how much harm can swearing in front of kids cause? Many experts say while using swear words in front of children might not be directly harmful, it could be damaging in ways we don't expect.
I think many of us inadvertently let those words slip at times, but it's about considering whether it's something that we have as part of our everyday vocabulary, and more importantly, whether it's something we use when we're communicating with our children, because that's a very different situation.
So should parents be wary of swearing in front of their kids?
Absolutely. Not that swearing in front of them is going to harm them psychologically, but we're their role models, and if you don't want your children picking up really unhelpful words and language outside your home, we need to be careful about how we're communicating around our children because we're the role models.
Yeah, you don't want to be driving the kids to school in the morning and suddenly hear a swear word from the back seat and say, oh, where did they pick up that? Okay, so in what context do parents have to be careful in terms of inadvertently using swear words?
I think when swear words are associated with a slur, whether that's a racist comment or a comment in terms that's linked with aggression, because that can be very overwhelming for children. So it's not just the swear word that's said, it's the emotion that's attached to us, to that experience, and that can make children feel really vulnerable. You know, we're their trusted caregivers. You know, that's who they look for connection and stability. And if we've got somebody who's using a lot of aggressive swearing language in front of them, that can damage that long-term connection for the child and their feeling of safety.
Yeah, and you're bringing up aggression there as well, and I guess it might be the case that parents are careful if they're having a disagreement with their partner, they take it to another room and do it there, and they should be careful with swear words in that situation. But yeah, aggression generally.
Absolutely, and we want children to understand that we at times can become very emotional and overwhelmed, and if as a parent you find yourself, you know, swearing, it's really important that we say to our children, that wasn't the right thing, you know, I shouldn't have said that, and that's not the language I should be using. So being accountable when we do, you know, lose our temper or forget where we are or forget what those little ears around us are listening to.
But is it also important to educate a child in terms of how to negotiate their way through disagreements, and but maybe that lesson can come a little later in life than 3 years old? 3 years old.
Yes, there's probably pretty hard for 3-year-olds to negotiate their way through arguments, you know, over the toy or the Lego or the iPad. But one of the things we want our children to understand that swearing isn't the most ideal way of communication, and when we're frustrated, it's about taking a space to be calm and working out the problem when we're in a better state. And I think as parents and any adults in their life, that's a really good role model to set for them, that, you know, I'm really upset with what's happening at the moment, I disagree with what they're saying, but engaging in an argument that might contain swear words is never going to be the solution.
And is there any age of the child from which you should be particularly careful? Like, does nothing sink in from kind of 0 to 1 year old, but then it does, or what's the age?
We usually see children around 3 years of age starting to pop up with those magic words all of a sudden, and it may, hopefully isn't us parents that they've heard it from, but they will often do that to get a reaction. So what a 3-year-old's using swearing for is very different than what an 8 or 9-year-old's using swear words for. So once children are at school, or of school age, we need to be supporting them about appropriate language, what's the ideal mode of communication, and what is acceptable and unacceptable. And often you'll hear them say that, but, you know, Mum, I heard you say that word.
And I haven't got kids, Deirdre, so I'm very, very conscious of playing a sort of dictatorial commentator on this subject. But I just wanted to finish with a question to you. How tough can it be being a parent and negotiating your way through a child's upbringing generally?
Look, I think it can be really tough, and I think sometimes as parents we look for a lot of expert advice and we don't always trust our own instincts. The most important thing is to think about what your child wants to be, creating a safe environment, trying to teach them as many good skills as we can, but also know as parents we're not always going to get it right, and that's part of that journey of parenting.
Now back home in sports, the upcoming National Schools Tournament, which will showcase the best school students in years 7, 8 and 9, 10 boys and a female open schoolgirls division, has received an enormous boost with Digicel PNG to show every match live on Tvwan Sports 1 and Tvwan Sports 2 channels on Digicel TV. The tournament, which will begin on Monday, 7th April, will feature matches in Port Moresby and Goroka. The competition will showcase young talent in the country with the finals on Saturday, May 10. This exciting initiative is part of the pathway structure that has been put in place based on the best NRL clubs in Australia and will provide a great launching pad in preparation of young players throughout the country for entry into the National Rugby League competition in 2028. And that ends the midday news. Do join us at 6 tonight for the main bulletin. Bye for now.